the RationalInvestor.com's Daily Brief. The answer to your question is learn the goddamn process, trade your trading plans, don't take too much risk on any one trade, and just let yourself get rich.
All right, hello everybody. Welcome back to another exciting episode of The Rational Investor. This is Julian, your host today, reporting in from Bangkok, Thailand, eating dark chocolate candies. You guys see this? I originally bought these to make chocolate chip pancakes. Made chocolate chip pancakes one time, and now I just snack on them. They're fantastic. I'm going to get acne from eating all these. Does anybody else get acne from eating dark chocolate? You know, I don't even have the stream pulled up. Let me see. Let me pull up the stream so I can talk to you guys. Let's see, where's the YouTube link? Where's our members lounge? Guys, so much to talk about today. Literally a whirlwind of things. Let me see this. All right, let's put this over here. Okay. Let's see, who do we have here today? We're going to do some kind of contest today. I don't know what it's going to be. I'm going to do something. We're going to get everyone super engaged. Let's make this a little bit brighter. Oh, that's very bright. Okay. Oh, my skin looks... You know, I wish I could get this camera perfect. Sometimes it looks great. Sometimes I look like shit. You know... Okay. It's up. Hello, Fuzzy. Hello, Koss. Hello, Gills. Who else is in here? We only got 6 people. I guess it's because everybody expects me to start late. So they don't start late. Regarding the shirt... Funny story about this shirt. You see how it says Nike? This is not a real Nike shirt. It's not. It's from some Thai knockoff store, probably imported from China. It was like, I think it was like $7 or something. But it's a great shirt, actually. And I've washed it so many times, and the Nike logo is still kind of there. I actually wish it had no logo. I just think it fits very well. It feels it's very soft. Fantastic. Yeah, I look great in it. Makes me look like I have amazing muscles. Yeah. Okay. Anyway. Sorry. Can you guys hear the chewing? You guys can't hear the chewing, right? Because if you can hear it, then I'll stop eating my dark chocolates. They're just so addicting. I'm gonna shrink myself. We're gonna get into what's really going on in the world here. Let me see. Okay, that's small enough. Let's get rid of this background and let's look at what you guys really care about, which is what is happening in the world. All right, so Chris titled the video, "Stocks continue to decline as U.S. durable goods orders rise most in 3 years." Let's check the Forex factory. Durable good orders. Wow. Yeah, look at that. Holy crap. Wow, these numbers are all over the place versus expectations. New purchase orders. That's crazy. Huh. I wonder why. Why is that? Why is it so high? 4.7 happened in July too. Huh. That's very interesting. Big increase in the price of goods and services as well. Advanced GDP. 4.9, not great. So previous was 2.1. Huh. Fascinating. Goods trade balance, that's kind of in line. Core durable good orders. Wow, huge jump. Pending home sales were way above expectation. What is going on in this economy? Yeah, it's interesting. It would be great to get your take on this, Brian. This is kind of my weak area. I need to study these fundamental things more. Usually I just look at the chart and I just go with whatever the chart is telling me. So speaking of charts, I also look at investor sentiment. What's going on with investor sentiment? 43% are bullish again. You guys know that that's not a good sign. What happened last time? We had 41% that were bearish. And I'm sorry, I meant to say bearish up here, not bullish. So 41% back in 10/4. What happened there? Where was that? Right here, the 4th of October. We had huge bearishness. And look what happened. The market rallied. So again, we have massive bearishness. Where could we potentially be going from here? I mean, look, on a weekly chart, I'm gonna bring my chart down here. Okay. So you guys see this on a weekly chart. Here's the S&P 500. We had a huge breakdown. Really big deal. Where you guys know that I drew this previous pattern. I said we could have a 5-wave completion or it would break down. Well, it's breaking down. If we go to a 3-day, you can see here's my uptrend line, and I followed this uptrend area. Here's our midpoint, and you can see how it was well respected. And then this was the lowest spot I could put for the parallel channel. And we completely broke down from that. If I go on a daily chart, you can see how it worked as a bit of a resistance, and then we just boom, down. This was a huge dump. I didn't expect this. I thought we'd get a little bit of a bounce here, and I'll show you why. Because look at this. Price is lower, but RSI was higher, which made me think there was a potential for a divergence to form. And the market would bounce. There were so many areas. I mean, we were right below the 200, fool a bunch of people, just bounce higher. I was very surprised that it broke down from here. Now we have an 8, Tom DeMark 8 on the daily chart. Typically a reversal area, or at least a pause. But we have extremely bearish stochastic RSI. Big breakdown on the weekly chart. Look at this weekly. Look at this RSI. Massive breakdown here. This was your big breakdown. But it wasn't convincing me yet. But now we're down here. Not good. Not good at all. We're down 1.1%. You know, interesting, TRI breadth has been negative the whole time. When did the TRI breadth short? Let's check when the TRI breadth went short the S&P. So I'm sure everybody watching has heard about the breadth. And if you didn't see if you're not already a member or on our email list, you wouldn't know that, unfortunately, we're going to have to raise the price of the breadth. So first, let's check about how well it did here. So we got an S&P short signal on the 19th. Let's see, where was the 19th? Right here. It's shorted right here. Okay, so actually, if we want to be really detailed, it shorted at 11:30 a.m. my time. So let's see the 19th. Right here. So this is exactly where the breadth went short. 4,300 on the S&P. It's still short right now. Meanwhile, I was short from higher up, and I closed a lot of my shorts in this area, 42.30. I'm kicking myself for not following the breadth and holding my shorts. But it's now up almost 3.7% on this move. And if you use the 3 times ETF that we recommend, and if I go over here, I'll show you. SPXS, you would have went long SPXS. SPXS. You would have went long down here, right here. This is where you would have went long, right here on the 19th. And you would be up right now 13.8% on spot, no leverage. Just using the 3X ETF. So, I mean, that's incredible. If you traded this with a $10,000 position, you would be up $1,300 already. I mean, you could close it here. I'm kicking myself because actually I had positions that I closed right here at about 7%. And I had a runner that I closed here at 10%. So I was like, wow, well, this is a big possible reversal area. I'm just gonna close almost everything. So now I have no shorts. Even though we have the breadth tool that I have a separate portfolio that I said I would use to trade only the breadth, and I still didn't follow it. So I'm kicking myself a little bit. It's hard to, we have 2 years of data on this thing. It's incredible, but even I have a hard time sometimes like getting away from my original trading instincts, but it shows that it continually kicks my butt. So just something I wanted to talk about. That was on the S&P. Right now, it's still bearish. So that's another sign of, you know, be careful with trying to long this market. Something I did notice on the 1 hour is that we did get a spike higher, and we're kind of creating a bit of a W. But I wouldn't put too much into this because it is just a 1 hour chart. considering this weekly is so bearish. So you got to remember, right, we work on time frames. So the weekly is the strongest. Then we go to a 3-day, daily, so on and so forth. We can even look at like a 2-week. I mean, the 2-week complete breakdown looks like total shit. So you need to be careful with trying to counter trade these moves when the trend is clearly on the downside. So right now, this is a bear. You have to look for bounces, and those bounces are short opportunities. We're no longer in what I would consider even possibly a bull. It looks like it's game over. And I would look for a bounce to enter on the short side. That's how I would be looking at this. So that's how I'm playing it. I'm going to look for a bounce, and I'm going to probably get into shorts unless we can break above my trend heuristic channel at 4,300. If we can break above that, then I'll consider longs again. But for now, any bounces, I'm going to be shorting. So that's the S&P. If you're caught in any longs right now, please be careful. If you're still stuck in them, I don't know if I'd recommend exiting at this point because we're very close to a possible bounce area. But it's a tricky zone. That's why I'm not. It's almost like a no man's zone in my opinion. If you're in the trade, okay, great, you can hold it. But it's not an area where you'd enter the trade. You would have wanted to enter the trade up here and up here. 43.70 was a good short area. 42.50 was a decent short area. This area is not. I don't like this area from a short perspective. I really think it's quite risky. Possibility for reversal to come in here, but again, you're trading against the trend. So I would wait for some more things to develop. Let's see what's going on, by the way, with open interest. Let's see tomorrow. So this is what we've got going into tomorrow. We have massive amount of puts at 4,200 and then 4,100. So I wouldn't be surprised to see a spike to get them back above this 4,200 number. They wouldn't want the market to close below that. So 4,200 would be right up here, right? This would be, so if we bounced, if we bounced and came up here to 4,200, then I could reconsider looking for short hunting opportunities. This is a much better area where it can reject from the uptrend parallel channel, or it could push even higher to 4,300 and then potentially reject from there. I would look for RSI divergence and an M top to then enter into a short position. So that's how I would approach the S&P. Let me drink a little more water. I think these chocolates are making my throat dry. Why do we have so few people watching today? Usually we have like at least 20 people. What's going on? Weird. Okay. So, it does not look good. Let's look at something like NVIDIA. NVIDIA big breakdown on the weekly. Very bearish looking chart. No, this does not look great. The daily, though, ironically, very hard to short off of this using RSI. Extremely confusing. Finally breaking down. It looks like it's confirming almost this M top. And you can see I drew a chaos M top off of that. And it points to a target of 185 down here. Which, if I take the range, right? So let's look at the range of NVIDIA from the bottom all the way to the top here. All right, so where would your buy zone be for NVIDIA? Your buy zone, ironically, would be right where the chaos level points to. Let me see, where's my rectangle? Here we go. This would be my buy zone for NVIDIA. Right down here. Between basically 200 and 150. People are still stunned at how awesome the breast signals are. Possible. Hello, Michael. Welcome, welcome. So this is where you would want to long NVIDIA. This is a great breakdown area. And again, if we get any bounce, I'm going to look for shorts because we broke down from the trend. The trend is this heuristic channel that I watch, and we seriously broke down from that channel. We've got a huge gap right here all the way down to 300. There's no reason why this couldn't fill very quickly. There are potential divergences here. You can see 7 potential divergences, 1 confirmed. So you really have to be careful with this area. And I am again looking for some kind of bounce, but it might just go straight down. You don't get any entry. It's very possible they might just take this all the way down after basically distributing. This was just a massive distribution, just like how this was a massive accumulation. So they accumulated from basically May 2022 until December 2022. So March, April, May, June, July, August, September, October, November, December, 10 months. And then how many months to distribute? We can assume distributing started in May, end of May. We'll just say 1st of June. So June, July, August, September, October. So five months of distribution. 10 months of accumulation, 5 months of distribution. That makes sense. Usually selling takes half as long as the buying. So it could be this is the time for it to dump. Anyway, that's what I expect on the video. I'm going to look for short entries on some kind of bounce here. If we don't get a bounce, then I might have to chase. We'll see. I really hope we get a little bit of a bounce. Options tell me that we should. But things look very bad. I don't see any. It really doesn't look like there's much room for a bounce here. Do we have any support? Let me see. I mean, we do have support here, right? This is the pretty big support area that was created between April and May. So I don't see this breaking too easily. And it would make sense again for them to bring it up into the close Friday around 4,200. And that's where, again, I'll consider shorts. Probably wouldn't get short until Monday. I don't really like taking positions on Friday. I think, look at how the water bottle, by the way, with my green screen, what happens to it. This is so strange. So it filters out, this says iHerb, and it filters out the green color. And the lid is also green. Same color as my green screen. So it's cool that it like makes it half invisible. Look at that. That's crazy. Yeah, exactly, TBG. Okay, so that's my thoughts on the S&P in the video. And I showed you SPXX and what could have happened if you use the breadth to take your short trade. Another thing is one that I'm watching heavily is Boeing. So Boeing, you know, with all the wars going on, usually Boeing is a lagging sector. It lags behind a lot of the other defense companies, but it eventually does rally. It's looking very negative on a weekly chart. However, it does have a 9 that came in. And then if we look at a 3-day, the 3-day also has a 9. And the daily looks like it's trying to put in a divergent bottom. So I am looking at potential longs on Boeing, assuming that we are going towards some kind of serious war where Boeing is going to make a lot of money. So this is something I'm watching very closely and something you might want to keep an eye on. I mean, there's massive bottoming signs here. We've got a 9 on the daily, a 9 on the 3-day, a 9 on the weekly. The monthly looks fine. Not amazing, but not bad. Yeah, I don't see why this couldn't have a nice bounce. I would like to see a bit more structure with price, but it's not a bad area to consider longs. You can always just set your stop right below the lows, right? So the lows are 176. You can just long 179 and set your stop at like 175. What's the big deal? You know, buy some puts going out like 6 months. So that's something you guys could look at. I really like the divergence on RSI that I'm seeing here. I like the bottom on the weekly chart, the 9 that came in. 3-day also has a 9. I'm just keeping my eye on this one. Look at this 4-hour. It looks like it's really ready to just take off. So that was another one that stuck out to me that I wanted to talk to you guys about. US dollar, holy crap. It played around. I'm going to go to a weekly chart. I'm going to show you guys. Look at this. So this is our long-term uptrending parallel channel on the US dollar since 2011. Well-respected channel. You can see how this midpoint was well-respected in the past from 2018 to 2020. And now we spent about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 weeks playing in this midpoint area. And look at what happened though. We're pushing through it. That was simply a consolidation. And I talked about this last week and I said, this looks like a bull flag. And what happened? We're breaking out from the bull flag. Right, there you go. There's basically your bull flag right there. And now we broke out. And where could we potentially go? Let's assume that this is an ABCD right here. This was just leg 1 and this is leg 2. Points to all the way up to 112, 113. right up to these all-time highs from 2022. I would love if we could go that high. That would be amazing. Things would be so cheap in Thailand. I would convert a lot of my US dollars into other currencies. So, you know, could be a great play in and of itself. I like the breakout. That spells doom for certain other things. Doesn't look good for Bitcoin. Doesn't look good for gold. Let's look at those in the meantime. What is going on with gold? Gold went on a huge tear, and now is kind of topping out, I feel like. Well, not feel like, it looks like. So this is a breakdown on the 4 hour for gold, and you can see how it's kind of topping out. We made a higher high with price, but RSI did not make a higher high. And if we go to something like a 12-hour chart, we're still sitting up here, but there are divergences that are showing up. 3 confirmed on an 8-hour. On a daily, you have 2 potential. Look, on a daily chart, it's still very strong. But that US dollar breakout, that was a big move. So I would like to see how gold reacts here, because the weekly did also break out, but it's running into resistance right up here. It did take out these previous highs from July. So ran that liquidity. And now that everybody's excited about gold, everybody's talking about gold, you know, they can distribute to people and pull the price back maybe down to this 1920 area. Before then we finally move higher. That would make more sense to me than going straight up from here. I think they took out all the liquidity it could. Time to flush the longs on the downside, have a nice retrace on this move. You know, a retrace to 38.2 makes sense. Just like this, you know, play in this area a little bit more, retrace to 38.2, and then take off. That's what I could see happening with gold. I'm not taking a trade on it. There's nothing clear for me. It's too risky that it could, there's too much risk that it could just shoot up. I'm not saying it's going to pull back. That's the scenario that looks likely to me and would make the most sense from a liquidity standpoint. However, keep in mind that on the daily chart, this thing's really bullish. It could just push higher. This could just be a pause. But I'm basing a lot of my logic on the fact that the US dollar looks like it wants to go higher. Okay, so that is gold. Next thing, what do you guys want to talk about next? Do you guys want to talk about more like old financial stuff, or you want to talk about crypto? What are your votes? I'm going to eat 2 more chocolates, and then I'm going to stop eating them because it makes my throat dry. Any votes on what you guys want to talk about? Is nobody watching? Maybe nobody's watching.
FYI, Julian, we got about 7 minutes left.
Constantine wants to talk about Chainlink. TBG wants to talk about crypto. Obviously, your name is Crypto, so you want to. Crypto. All right. So we only got like 7 minutes left. We're going to talk about Bitcoin. And then I will talk about Chainlink, especially in the Afterparty, along with other crypto and a couple of traditional things too, but mainly we'll look at a couple different crypto names. Chainlink is a name that I've talked about for a long time. I even know some of the founders of Chainlink. I've had calls with them before, and I think it's definitely a solid coin. So with Bitcoin, it hit a 9 on the daily. So of course it's pausing here. Everybody's talking about it. It's at the 50%. The 50% of the entire move. Look at this right here. What, Brian, what did I miss? Yes, people are stunned at how awesome the breast signals are. Yes, I am also stunned. So I use the fibs from the top of the range to the bottom of the Bitcoin range. So from 3,000 all the way up to like 65,000. And we are exactly at the 50% area. So it makes sense that price paused here. This is the big level. This is exactly 50% of the entire Bitcoin move. Damn, that's distracting. And you can see how we've had a breakdown on Bitcoin on like an 8-hour chart, RSI. Right, it's breaking down here. Pullback, major pullback. 4 hour, look at this, is a little bit more clear right here. Like that. Yeah, see that, guys? Oh, if this is a potential M, right? Where could price go? 28,000. I'm thinking that's a little bit too aggressive. Probably somewhere like 30,000, 31,000 area I could see price pulling back to. Be very careful with going long Bitcoin here. You could get hit with a big pullback all the way down to 31,000 or so. With that in mind, though, the breadth indicator is still long. So our TR breadth indicator still long on Bitcoin. When did it go long? That's a great question. Let me show you. We got a crypto long signal on the 15th of October. You can see this. So if you were a breadth subscriber, you would have gotten a notification in Discord on October 15th to go long Bitcoin. Well, actually any crypto you want, but our tests are only on Bitcoin, and that's the only thing that we kind of stand behind. So that's right here, 26,800. The system longed Bitcoin literally a day before the fireworks went off. So if all you had to do was follow the long signal, okay, and you would be up right now 26.8%, and that's on spot. Imagine if you did 2x leverage, which, by the way, that's all we recommend. I never recommend more than 2x. That's when you're asking for trouble. Yes, you could make massive returns, but look, it doesn't always do 26.8%. That's huge. I'm not gonna sugarcoat. I'm not gonna say this always happens, because obviously Bitcoin doesn't do anything sometimes. It doesn't move that much. The last big move was from 29,000 to 26,800. It's just, let me see. It's just like 11%. So we got to deal with what we get, right? So if Bitcoin only moves 1 or 2%, how can we make more than that? You just can't. Especially since the system gives signals on the daily. We're not talking about a 4-hour or something like that. It's a daily chart. But that's still great, right? If you longed Bitcoin with just $10,000, you would be up $2,600. And the breadth for a year is just $795. So, I mean, I don't even know why we're selling it for that cheap, which is something that we've talked about extensively. And if you are a subscriber or a TRI customer, you know that the breadth price is going up. So unfortunately, we're going to be increasing it to about $2,000 a year in about 6 days now. So in 6 days, the breadth price is going to be $2,000 for a year instead of $795. And I don't even know how long it's going to stay at $2,000 for. But if you are a current subscriber or not, whatever you are, you have 6 days to buy for $795. It's never going to be cheaper than this again. 100%. Never, ever, ever. I know people talk about Black Friday. I can promise you for Black Friday, it's not going to be this cheap. It's just not. We're going to have a Black Friday special for sure, but it's not going to be $795. So if you're interested in it, the only reason I'm talking about this now is because by the time I'm on next week, it's going to be $2,000. So I thought, okay, I'll spend a little bit of time talking about it to let you guys know 100% that, look, it's going up. Now, if you're already a breadth subscriber, you can buy another year and we'll extend your account. So, you know, if you have 6 months left or just 3 months, you can buy it now and we'll add an additional year to your account. It's fine. We can do that manually. It's a little bit of extra work for us, but we can do it no problem. I'm going to actually go through, I think a bunch of people signed up recently in the past 24 hours. So I'm going to go through and actually manually check all of their accounts and upgrade them if needed and extend their accounts. If you have any other questions about the breadth, feel free to PM me on the Discord or ask in our new user chat if you're not a member. Just to give a couple statistics. Let me see. I shared this. Let me see. I shared this with our pro members today. I shared some of the back tests that we have. Let me see here. Where is it? This document right here. Let me show you guys. Matador, is that the renewal rate? What do you mean is that the renewal rate? It's the rate for everybody. $795 is the price for a year. There's no like renewal rate or something like that. Okay, so this is all of the data on Bitcoin right here. From, let me zoom out a little bit. Let me try to go full screen. Okay. So this is Bitcoin. And the first data point is from November 26, 2021 until 2023 today. Here are our 3 different trades right here. And you can see the win rate. This is if you traded with just 10,000 every time, how much you would make each time and how much you would lose. This is percentage gain, and this is the Bitcoin price. And you can check all of this yourself. It's all being recorded, right? So you guys can go through line by line and check, or you can sign up for the Pro and you'll get access to the Google spreadsheet here. So let's say that you decided to take $10,000 and you just reinvested it every time for 2 years. Now, this is without fees. Exchanges do have fees, so it will be different than this. I just included it with no fees because I don't know what exchange people are using. So you can always calculate this and include the fees. Just understand that I wanted to be clear. There's no fees in these calculations. So 10K compounding started with 10,000, and you can see, okay, here's 6 months. Okay, after 6 months, 0 leverage, 10K compounding, you already doubled your money, 22,000. If you use 2x leverage, you're at 40,000. Now keep in mind, if you have fees, it's probably not going to be 43,000. It might be 38,000 something. I don't know exactly. Depends on the exchange you use. Bybit is one of the cheapest from my understanding. Kraken is one of the more expensive ones. So that's just after 6 months. Let's go a year, right? We said we started in December. So here's right here. Here's a year. So boom. You're at 35,000 on no leverage. And if you did 2x leverage, you're at like 93,000. But again, if you had fees, it would be a bit lower. I would not personally believe this if I didn't help build it and do all these tests myself. So it is totally crazy. It is really crazy. I just want to share this with you guys so that you know the potential. We do have a 30-day money back. So if you don't like it after 30 days, obviously you can ask for a refund. We've only ever had one person ask for a refund. And that's it. So something else to keep in mind. Okay, so that was 12.26. So let's go to current. Where are you at? No leverage is at 934% return in less than 2 years. 2x is at 5,000%. If you just reinvested your initial amount every time and you kept taking the money out instead of compounding, you would have made $25,000 on your original 10,000. And your 10,000 is still the only thing that's at risk. And you have 25,000 you could have used for living expenses, things like that. It's insane. It's absolutely insane. And now you guys see why we have to raise the price. It's just too cheap. We have certain people that are interested in turning into this into an auto trader, starting hedge funds and things like that, and not wanting us to sell this anymore, actually. So I don't know what's going to happen in the future, but if you get it now, or at least in the next couple months, you're going to have it guaranteed at least for a year. I don't know what the future holds. We'll see. Who knows? TRI could be bought out by some crazy giant hedge fund. We don't know. If the offer's massively huge, we might not refuse. I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen. Anyway, that's Bitcoin. So I'll show you the S&P really quick. I just did the 3X ETF. I think it provides the best balance of risk and performance. It's the same thing, $10,000, and I did the compound. I just showed the compounding one. Here you can look at the graph. So this is starting April 2022, and you can see how basically the portfolio just goes up in a straight line. You have pullbacks. It's not perfect. It has losses. They happen, but that's how you know it's real. And you have times where it didn't make much money. It just paused for like 3 months, right? So at 40,000, it did nothing until April, and then it jumped up, and then it paused. Look at any really good trader's trading account, and you'll see there are fluctuations, and there are periods of pause, and then there's big jumps that happen, and then it pauses again, and then you have a big jump. That's exactly what this is doing, and that's what you want to see. That's how you know it's real. If it just went straight up in a straight line, it's nonsense. But the fact that we get pullbacks and then moves higher and then pulls back and then moves higher and then it's stagnant for a bit where it's just up and down, that's how you know that it works. All right, so here's 10K compounding. Started with 10,000 on March 15, 2022. Where would you be at March 15, 2023? You'd be at 50,000. 5x compounded in 1 year. Insanity. So imagine if you did this, what do you guys want to start with? I gotta wrap this up. So you guys want to try this again? Let's do if we started with a 50K portfolio, right? Let's try. Oh, it's in view only mode. Damn. Yeah, I think I can't do anything with this right now. Yeah, I can't. I'm not logged in, so I can't actually modify this. But, you know, obviously if you did 50,000 in 1 year instead of 10, you'd be at 250K, right? That's insane. Insane. 50K to 250K. Nuts. And then if you just started again this year, let's say you started again at 315, you would still be up by October 50%. So this is up 50% in the past couple months. That's great, considering the market didn't do a lot from March to now. Start with the price of the breath, 2K, selling point to show when you make your investment back. So you're saying that, so Matador, you're saying that, well, the breath is 795 right now, right? It's not 2K. It'll be 2K in a week. But you're saying only invest $2,000? And when do you make the 2,000 back? I mean, it depends on the market state, right? How much the market moves. If it was in 2022, you would have, so basically you would say you have to double your money. You have to double your money. That's a big ask, you know. Just that's a crazy return, 100% on your money. I like to use 10K because I think most people have 10K to invest. And that way they can make it back in basically one trade. They only need a 10% return. So they just get that 10% return, take it out. Okay, that's their money made back. And then they just keep trading the rest. But if 2K, obviously, it would take a couple months. So for here, 315 to 531, it took about 3 months to double the money. If we go down here, let's just pick an arbitrary date. So September 28th. When did you double to 60? So you didn't double to 60 until 829. You can see it took a while from 30 to 60. 816 to 829. It took about a year to make 100% return there. But then you can see there's a big jump again right here for these past couple ones. You had a couple big moves, 10%, 6%, 13% moves. And you can see the bear moves where it's wrong. It's only 1%, 3% max. I mean, we had one 10% incorrect signal and one 15%. But look at how big the long ones were. 31%, 25%, 18%, 27%, 23%, 13, 11, 16. Huge wins. Huge. And look at this. This is all just win, 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 win. It has a 70% win rate. People are always interested in win rate. 70% win rate right now. By the way, for Bitcoin, the win rate is a little bit lower at 57%. And that's just because Bitcoin moves so fast and everything's on a daily chart. So sometimes it moves too fast for the system to keep up with it. We are looking at lower time frames, but for now, we like to stick to the daily. It's more reliable, and we know it works. Make back your investment in the first year. Yeah, I don't like to make promises. That sounds like a promise, but yeah, I mean, it's not a bad idea from a copy standpoint. I don't think, you know, this is doing so well just trading for us and stuff. We don't need to go too crazy selling it hardcore. And I don't even know if that's a good idea, but I do appreciate the advice. Yeah. Okay. So, any other questions? Otherwise, I'm going to wrap it up and we're going to do the after party. I already went like 10 minutes over. Any questions, anyone? Don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe if you haven't subscribed already. Lots to talk about in the after party, guys. And yes, it's Brian's life's work. Brian's life's work combined with Sjorn's life's work as a coder. Sjord's. All right, Quinn says don't sell it. Okay, I'm going to call it for today. I will do the after party. So everybody that is not a subscriber, subscribe, join 30-day free trial. Not for the breath, but for the basic membership. And you can see the after parties. Yeah, BP Shogun, you can buy another year now. You can only buy 1 year more. You can't buy like 2 years or 3 years or something like that. It's just 1 year extra is all that we're allowing. I think we already had someone try to buy like 2 years, and I had to refund them one of the years because we're only allowing one extra year. But yeah, you can. If you bought like 6 months ago or even 3 months ago, you can buy 1 more year, but nothing. You can't buy another one again. So that's the only rule. Sure thing. I'm just a guy that stumbled upon things, got lucky. That's all. Anyway, I hope you guys have a great rest of the week. Actually, I hope most of you come on the after party and talk to me there. I like when I have over 20 people watching. So come join the after party. I'm going to get some water. I'm going to try not to eat some chocolates. And we're going to go through all of the crypto and all of the other stuff that you guys want to talk about. I'll even share Thailand secrets. If, you know, we talked about that for like 30 minutes one time. People loved it. All right. See you in the after party, guys. And if not, hope you have a great weekend.